Hello everybody. Today's video I will talk about my frustration about French. Not because I I don't I'm not what I try to say, I'm not saying I dislike French, but what French did to me for not reaching my goals, because I am a student at the university. Then I was doing my English major, and now I have to give up on it because the university said I had to do French mandatory, even though I grew up learning French. And the frustration, the word, the the title of the course says English major. For me, didn't even make any sense when the university forces you to do a French requirement, and now because of that, I had to give up on that, and now I am doing a short program in English because I want to be over it. And the what annoy me, the government of Quebec, he wants so much to protect French. For some people like me and others are being punished for about the law. And the other thing, it is there was a time Quebec asked for 605 million to protect French. French, it won't disappear. They could share the pie with a lot of problem. Here in Quebec, the healthy care it's a problem. Housing is a problem. Many we have a lot of problem, but they ask money for only one thing, French. And because of those law, if you go to Amazon.ca, Walmart.ca, BestBuy.ca, you find an item you want to save money on it because of the law, you cannot buy it because it says this item doesn't deliver in Quebec, and that is a boner. It's very frustration. If the French wasn't mandatory, if for my English major, long time ago I will be finishing it, and you know I will be reaching and make my goal, my dream to come true, to be an English teacher. Because of that, I am being punished. That's why I decide plan B to start my YouTube channel. You know, like I said before, I have nothing against French, but my objective it was to teach English, and then ask me to do a mandatory class in French. It's annoying, and I will never take back the 6 credit I lost because the French mandatory. They said if you don't do French mandatory, you will never have your diploma. That's damn annoying. You know, it's frustrating, and I try it, but unfortunately, I failed one course. So, damn. But anyway, the thing I try to say is very frustrating when it's not your, because French is not my mother tongue, neither English, but my, because I prefer to learn English and know English, because I'm not planning to stay here anyway in Quebec. So I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying I dislike French. It's just some law piss me off. Some stuff they do piss me off. When I was a kid, when I came here in 1988, well, people were annoying me and bullying me like, oh, here in Quebec we speak French. You're not allowed to speak another language. Bill 101. That was very frustrating about it. And then many years later, Bill 96 to reinforce French. The thing will never, go. The French won't disappear because there is a lot of African countries who do speak French. Some Caribbean countries who do speak French, who the immigration comes here. And just to give you an example, France himself, who is the birth of French, there is less restriction because they think differently, because they are surrounding for many European countries. So, because if they put some restriction in that country, France, the connection to build, to do importation, exportation, it will be like a barrier for them. But Quebec didn't think about it. And that is very unfair because normally in life we want to go fast forward, not back forward. Quebec doesn't even go back forward, it goes sideways as a crab. Anyway, I'm not here to complain about Quebec, just about my frustration about nonsense law and how much they give money to protect French. Every year they ask more money, more money. But how about the inflation? To do your grocery, to pay rents, the minimum wage. It's annoying. We have a lot of problem, and no, they prefer to French. Priority is French, 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 and then you become upset about that, not because of French himself, because the nonsense law. Who, we supposed to be in a bilingual country and free of speech and free of express yourself. You don't even have that no more because people, they shield themselves behind the Bill 96 in many occasions, and that's just very frustrating. And last year, many foreigner students came here to do their master degrees, and then when they realized they have to do French mandatory core test, for them it didn't make any sense, So they flipped. They went to Vancouver, they went to Toronto because they don't want to be annoyed with French because it won't be useful for them when they back home. Same it was for me. If they didn't put the French mandatory, I will not need French to teach English. Like I said, I have nothing against French, but it should be your choice. You're doing an English major, you focus in English. Don't add other stuff as a barrier, you know, for for other people. In my case, me, because it put a barrier on me to finish. I will never finish my English major because of that. Now I will be stuck to to finish a short program in English, and that's all about it. That's why I explain my situation a little bit more, my education, etc. And that's why I decide to do well. Screw everything. I'm gonna do a YouTube channel, and one maybe I'm gonna realize my dream in other way. So Thank you for watching. Thank you, all the viewers. And don't forget to subscribe.